I analyzed over 1,000 solo developers from all over the world who got rich from code. And there is one thing that every single one of them had in common. And no, it wasn't about how talented they were technically or whether they were an introvert or an extrovert. And I know this firsthand because this same thing also took me from $258 in my bank account to over $6 million in annually recurring revenue as a software engineer. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that one thing is and how you can use it as a developer to get rich yourself. Now, let's get straight into it and cut to the chase. Every single one of these developers sold it before they built it. Somebody had already paid them before a single line of code ever existed. And I know this sounds backwards, so let me first show you the proof for this. I went through public build and public breakdowns, revenue screenshots developers posted themselves, and hundreds of interviews and case studies. And I was not simply looking for the famous outliers that everybody else is taking a look at. On top of everything, I even had front row seats to developers like Marco, Tamir, Tom, Sandra, Chris, all from my startup accelerator, Code to CEO, running the same exact pattern in real time. So everybody from different countries with completely different products, and yet every single one of them put the money first and the code second. Now, here's why almost every single developer does this in reverse and why they fail. It's fundamentally because to us as devs, building feels like progress and selling feels very slimy and kind of similar to begging. When you're writing code, you are in control and nobody can reject you because the compiler is going to say, yes, it worked or it didn't. But when you talk to a business owner, you might hear the word no, and that's going to feel personal to you. So we as software engineers tend to hide inside the code base and we call it getting ready. But what ends up happening is 6 months of building later, we launched to complete silence and $0 in revenue, and we blame the marketing for it. Building is the part that we are genuinely good at, and that is exactly why it becomes the place where we hide. And I want you to understand that selling first does not mean tricking somebody into buying vaporware, because a real sale is actually the only feedback that cannot lie to you. The moment you ask somebody to actually pay you, you find out the truth in a single second, instead of wasting 6 months building something in complete silence. And if they say no to you, then that just saved you half a year of your life of working in silence. So how did these developers actually run this pattern? How did they sell before they built? And here's where we're gonna get a little specific. Most people will just tell you to go out there and find a problem. But that advice is almost useless in 2026 because problems nowadays are everywhere and most of them are worth nothing. It's pretty much death by 1,000 cuts. What you are actually going to be hunting for is a budget that already exists. So you want to ask every single business owner you come across one single but very powerful question. And this is what all 1,000 software engineers who made it actually did. And that question is, what have they already done to try to fix that particular problem? If they've already tried hiring somebody, or they bought a tool that they hate using, or they paid an assistant to do it by hand, then the budget is real and the pain is validated. But if that business owner or that business has never spent a single dollar on that problem, then they are simply just complaining to you. And of course, complaining is free. So you are looking for proof of spending, not necessarily proof of pain. Then you can go ahead and sell it before the thing even exists. Because what you're selling is you're not selling the software per se. Nobody actually wants software. They want what the software is able to do, which is solving their problem by a particular deadline. So you tell them that in X amount of days, let's say 30 days, you will stop Y problem, be it, let's say, losing leads. And then you're gonna tell them exactly what that's gonna cost them. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, Bago, how are they gonna pay for something that does not yet exist? Well, you need to kill that risk before they even ask that or even think that. You're going to tell them that if the problem is not solved in X amount of days, then they do not pay you a single dollar, or the money that they do pay you will get refunded. You are a developer yourself, so you already know whether you can solve that particular problem or not, which means that guarantee really doesn't cost you anything, and it closes the deal, which is a win-win situation. And once you get that first yes, you'll go ahead and build it, because a paying customer is the best reason to write code that never existed beforehand. But here's the other pattern that I found, and it is the one that separates the ones who got rich from the ones who just got paid once. They did not go all in after one client, because one yes might just be a favor or it might be one strange company with one strange problem that simply gave you a lucky break. So all the rich software engineers kept it lean and they tested for a real signal, which was at least 3 different clients saying yes to the same exact offer, or about $15,000 a month in recurring revenue. And the moment that they crossed that line, either the 3 client line or 15,000 in revenue, they committed completely and went all in. That is when they started cold outreach, content, and began doubling down on that one single offer and treated it like a real business instead of just a side hustle that they were doing. Because once again, 3 yeses is not going to be a favor anymore. It's going to be a proper market. And $15,000 a month is going to be proof that that market wants more. So let us wrap this whole thing up, because the pattern is pretty much dead simple. You hunt for a budget that already exists. You sell the outcome with a deadline and a guarantee, and you build after the first yes, but you go all in once you hit at least 3 clients or $15,000 a month. That is the exact path that 1,000 developers took before you. And it is the same exact path that took me from $250-$80 in my bank account to over $6 million in revenue. And let me say this one more time so it really sticks. None of these developers, Tom, Tamir, Sandra, all the people inside Code CEO and everybody else that I'd studied, none of them got rich because they built something great. They got rich because somebody had already agreed to pay for it before they ever built it. And I know what you're thinking. Sure, Bigo, this all sounds great, but I still have no idea how to actually go and have that conversation. What do I say to that person? So that is why on July 26th, I'm running a free live training on exactly how to land your first $10,000 plus client as a software engineer without writing a single line of code. I will show you exactly who to reach out to, what to say to them, how to reach out to them, and how to actually close that deal. The link to register is going to be in the description below, completely for free. So go ahead and sign up as early as possible because, of course, seats are limited. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.